great to win first game of the series. I'm really proud of Griffin Curran, his best outing as a Mountaineer. Today was special. He went 6.2 innings with 14 punch-outs and a walk that probably should have been a strikeout. And so I was really impressed about what he did. He's made a concentrated effort to change his mindset and make a little bit of an adjustment when it comes to attacking the zone this week, and it showed up huge really when we needed him, especially after playing 5 games last week. We needed to stretch him out, and so he had his longest outing of the year through 92 pitches, and damn near every one of them was quality.
When there's a classic Friday night matchup like this, and you know he's going against a great arm also, do you mention that and say, hey, you don't have to match this guy pitch for pitch or whatever, stick to your plan?
We didn't talk about McAnally at all to the pitching staff. We obviously do to the hitters, just in a scouting report piece. And McAnally is really good. He's that definition of the guy with good stuff, not great stuff, but elite competitor, like one of the most competitive guys, never backs down, throws all his pitches with conviction. It's one of those things like you just know when a guy has conviction behind the ball, it always plays better. Like every pitch that he throws, it is with 100% certainty it's the right pitch in the right moment. Like he really believes that, and he does a really good job on all the small stuff. So you basically can't run off of him because he's like 1-1 to 1-2 to the plate with a man on first. He's one look at second base, but he starts his delivery while he's looking at you at second, so it's really hard to get a jump off second to try to steal third. He's a good fielder, doesn't walk guys, so it's just like grinder. And we always say, and our players always say, solo home runs aren't going to beat you, but today maybe solo home runs beat him because we had 3 of them.
So Grant mentioned how you brought up that 3 West Virginians all had home runs tonight. What can you say about not only tonight but the whole season, their contribution towards all these wins?
It's been huge. There's nothing better than having people that are proud of this state and proud of this university have success, and guys that grew up here and know what it means to be a Mountaineer. But I don't want to sell anybody on our roster short. Even the guys that aren't from West Virginia chose to be here, chose to make this home, and they've been massive contributors. So I do think it means something different because when you grow up here, you want to play for the Mountaineers. You want to represent everything that this university stands for. And those 3 guys all are power hitters with great attitudes that want to see West Virginia win. And so there's no confusion there. Those guys are all in. And so really fun for me, fun for the fan base, I think fun for those kids, and they're all seniors.
Griffin was saying that even in pregame warm-up, pregame toss, that he just felt good going into today. At what point did you see that he had his best stuff?
First hitter, and he gave up a hit, and so I was like, man, that's odd because it just came out of his hands so well. He got the leadoff hitter to 2 strikes and threw a slider, and the guy fisted a ball into center field. But everything was crisp. The last few outings before tonight, his slider kept missing out of the zone, and today I bet his in-zone rate for all his pitches were probably 70-80%. So he was just filling it up with good stuff. The amount of swing and miss is a pretty good indicator if he's going to be good that day. So swing and miss on the slider from lefties and a lot of fastball swing and miss. If you can throw a fastball and guys are whiffing it, you have a chance to be really successful.
So in the 8th, when Grant is up, they had just switched pitchers. The fog had gotten really thick by that point. It's kind of an eerie moment. I'm just kind of wondering, did you have any kind of feeling that, hey, maybe this will be the
for sure,
swing?
For sure. You have those feelings a lot. It had gotten really foggy. We had just stolen second base with Skylar King. They threw a changeup in the dirt when we stole, and it got Skylar to second base. And Hussey was up against a reliever. It felt like when you take McAnally out of the game, it's like it doesn't matter. Anybody else is better to face than who we were facing as the starter. So it just feels like the game gets a little bit easier. There was fog. It felt like our guys kept competing. Chase Meyer gave up the hit, which tied the game, but then he answered. So, like, he got over some adversity and answered. He didn't fold, right? He answered and got through the inning. And so it felt like this definitely had a chance to be one of those moments where a guy loses a ball in the fog, where he hits a homer. You kind of felt like it was happening in that moment. Last year we had something a little bit similar. It was kind of like a joke throughout the team, but I forget who we were playing. It was a tie game, and it had been raining all day, and the sun came out, and there was a rainbow, and then like a bird flew across our field. Do you remember this?
Yeah, the
Ra-
Buffalo Wild Wings parking lot.
Yeah, and like so guys called it the rainbow bird game, but I think it was like a homer right after the rainbow came up. So just one of those things. If you play enough games, it's hard to like not believe in that stuff. You're just around it and you feel it, and so.
Steve, this is specific to Chase tonight, but more with relievers. I feel like traditionally coaches, when it comes to the ninth inning and they throw in a couple of guys, it's like, all right, let's get him out of here, let's save his arm, and let's go with our closer. It doesn't feel like you guys have that one inning closer. Do you think you will at any point, or is it ride the hot hand out of the bullpen?
I don't think we will necessarily. Chase has been our best guy out of the bullpen with the most strikeouts. And so it's always tough because Kern was his best that he's ever been today. And he probably could have gone 120 pitches and won the game if I had to guess. It's just in that moment, there was 2 outs with second and third. And so the tying runs at second base. And you have a guy that has some of the best stuff in the country and is fresh because he didn't pitch on the midweeks. And so you have a chance to get out of that jam with Chase Meyer. He doesn't bounce back great. He's been much better than he's ever been, but he's not like a Reese Bassinger where he could throw every day. Usually takes him some more time to recover. So if you get him in a game for an inning, you're concerned that you might lose him for the next day or the following day. And so we've been using him in longer outings. So everybody's arm's just a little bit different, but that was our thought today. If we were going to go down, I like to go down with your best guy in the game, right? If your best guy's sitting on the pine next to you eating a Gatorade bar, you're kind of like, what are we doing in this moment? That was our chance to end the game, and he didn't. So it wasn't the right decision if you're basing it off results, but we ended up winning the game.
And the second thing is a little more anecdotally, but your guys' bunt defense looks like it's been pretty strong. You've done some pick-off stuff off that in past games. How much attention to detail you have there? Do you feel like it's gone well for you?
Yeah, it's gone good. Our pitchers have done a nice job. We've made a huge focus on PFP, pitcher fielding practice. Nowadays, young kids, when they grow up, it's an obsession with velocity and stuff and pitch shapes. And so, like, holding runners, fielding their position, pickoffs is basically non-existent in showcase baseball. You just have dudes that rip their arm and throw as hard as they possibly can. So it takes a long time to get freshmen to understand that there's so much more to the game. McAnally is the definition of that guy. He does everything really, really well, and he has good stuff, not great stuff, and that's why he's so good. So I think we've done a great job, and our pitching coaches, Chris Riley and Justin Oney, have focused on that. Even yesterday, we were outside for about 45 minutes with the pitchers just doing picks and fielding bunts. So it is a big part of our game.
How much does going to a doubleheader tomorrow change your pitching approach?
It doesn't, other than we're going to have to throw more players most likely than we would have. The guys who were used today, which was limited, so that's positive. But like Chase Meyer would probably be a little bit fresher on a Sunday than he would be on a Saturday. He threw 37 pitches, and so that's a lot for him to bounce back tomorrow. So we'll see how he feels. Maybe he could get us a couple outs, but would be more likely to be fresher on Sunday. So that's probably the biggest adjustment. We were joking in the locker room, like, hey, we could close somebody and then try to narrow the window for the game 2 to begin and start him. There's always that. You don't see that very often in college baseball, but just someone's going to have to, a starter for us to win the series tomorrow, somebody will have to, pitch 5, 6, 7 innings for us to be good.
In recruiting Griffin, I'm kind of interested in recruiting terms, I guess. Like if you're looking at a pitcher in the portal who is maybe at an ACC or SEC school, you can probably trust your eyes a little bit more on what you see on him on tape because of the competition he's facing.
Sure.
How do you, is it hard to trust your eyes when you're looking at a D2 kid? There's obviously a difference there, and how do you trust yourself to pull the trigger on a D2 kid?
Yeah, we've done it a lot. I've done it a lot. Tons of different factors. I think you're trying to measure velocity, spin. You're trying to measure experience, strike throwing ability. A big piece of it is that hunger factor, the desire to get better, the belief in themselves that they can pitch at the highest level. So there's just so many different factors. And in recruiting, there can be like one red flag where it's like sitting in your gut a little bit, and you're just going like, that's not going to work. Like, that's not going to be a winner here. And Griffin checked every box and just kind of continued to check all those boxes. He wasn't at a higher level because he's from Quincy, Illinois, and then went to Quincy and then just stayed the course. And I think he was really happy there, and he was winning at a high level. But some of the things that he was doing, like he was training at a facility on his own while being in college. He had a physical therapist and somebody that did needling and massage work outside of the school. He was literally finding every way possible to be good because that specific school doesn't have any of those resources. Nothing to their fault, just the budget of that program. So I was like, man, we have a lefty that's throwing 88 to 90, throws a lot of strikes, loves to compete, and is doing everything that he knows to get better. I was like, man, if we can pair that with everything that we do here for these kids, I think he's going to have a chance to help us. And he's just hungry. Like, he wants all that. Where sometimes you get a young kid in here that you recruit, and they think what we do here is normal, right? You're monitoring sleep and your nutrition, and you're getting them supplements, and there's a cherry juice and a muscle milk waiting for you after the game, and you have all the latest gear, and you have a technology lab. For a guy like Griff, who's seen the other side, he takes advantage of every resource every day, and that's got him a little bit better, which is what he needed in order to compete in the Big 12. So I think you're always betting on guys, and that's what we bet on with Griff.
He said he knew the Derek Clark story before.
Oh yeah, we're selling the hell out of Derek Clark.
That might make things a little easier, right?
Yeah, and you always have a story. And I've been with staff members that would joke with me and say like, "Kai really kind of embellished on that deal a little bit," and some of that's recruiting. But I'm so passionate. I've been here for 10 years, where it's like when you have a left-handed hitter from the Pittsburgh area and you're recruiting him and you think he can be great, and you tell him, hey, why don't you be the next J.J. Weatherholt? You're sitting in the exact same chair that J.J. Weatherholt was sitting in. Is he going to be a first-rounder that signs for $6.9 million? I can't say that with certainty, but J.J. thought that he could be, and he did it, right? And so, like, if you don't have that embellishment, or you don't actually believe that you can be a first-rounder, we don't really want you at West Virginia anyways. And so it's like, not everyone's going to be a first-rounder, but you damn sure better believe that you can be, because what we do here is hard. It's day in and day out, and if you don't want to do that, then we don't really want you here, right? And so I've been known to – I like selling. I like selling what you can be and what this program can be. That's been my favorite thing for 10 years.
Played a lot of baseball over the last couple of days, assuming taking Logan out there in the ninth inning is just for rest purposes because you do have a doubleheader tomorrow.
Good question. On that check swing, he'd been battling that shoulder a little bit on that check swing. He's like, I feel fine, but not sure. It tightened up a little bit on me, so we're like, we're not going to mess around with it. So he's with a trainer checking it out. We'll learn more.
On Chase swing, was there any reason why you took him out?
Nope, just we think Spencer is a plus defender and a really, really good glove, accurate thrower. It was the 6th inning going into the 7th, I believe, and put Spencer in for a defensive replacement because he thought he's so sturdy defensively. Swain had struck out twice against the starter, and we said, hell, let's give somebody else a different look because Swain didn't seem like he was seeing McAnally well. And then Spencer came out with a big hit, so one decision looked like it might have been the right one.
How important is it to have like Gavin Kelly just be able to switch him from second base to catcher just like ease whenever you pull out the soft head?
Yeah, it's crazy. And that guy's been training catcher the whole year, and then when he's out there, it's like, wow, that guy's a really good second baseman, and then you just throw him back behind the catcher. Our issue is we have no backup catcher at this point other than Jace Reinhardt, who really he caught a little bit in college at UC Upstate, but the most he was catching was high school at our prospect camps in gear when we told him he wasn't good enough as a catcher. So he's so much stronger and better, and he can certainly do it. But we have his gear in his locker ready to roll, being Sam White out and Logan being banged up a little bit. Gavin Kelly's the third guy, and Reinhardt's the emergency catcher. You don't really want to get to the emergency catcher in Big 12 games. That's not ideal.
Have you guys ordered any torpedo bats yet?
We haven't. We're looking for the aluminum model coming soon. Somebody has to be making those pretty quickly, right? I have to. If they're legal, someone's going to be making them here soon.
And Coach, when you had kind of watching Jason Reinhardt hit those back-to-back home runs, I mean, what was kind of the feelings with the entire team when they just go back-to-back like that? Maybe a minute.
Yeah, it was so cool. 2 pitches, 2 homers. Kyle Westball, that's unusual stuff. Like a lefty that's hitting a ball to the left of second base to center field, like the deepest part of the ball field, oppo. Like that's unusual power. And so that's a little bit of like putting your stamp on the game. I don't even think he got all of it. Like hit it so hard. So that was a fastball. Then literally the next pitch, he throws a 72-mile-an-hour curveball. So it's 91 to 72, 19-mile-an-hour speed differential between those 2 pitches. And like Reinhardt looks like he's on the curveball and just blasts that thing. And I don't think he was sitting curveball. I think he was just like in such a good place mentally that the guy flips up a slow breaking ball and he puts it to the bullpen. So that was cool. Back-to-back pitches. That's like the game comes at you pretty fast. That guy's cruising, getting everybody out, and then 2 pitches, you're down 2-1. Thanks, guys.